Hi, I'm Treon Verdery, and I'm the kind of person that lives underneath bridges, and I'm visiting Lane Community College, and they very nicely let me do things like use their library. I read this at the Oregonian, or perhaps the Eugene paper, that community colleges, as wonderful as they are, have the opportunity to be more functional. I believe the paper said that approximately 8 out of every 100 people that go to Lane Community College attain the certificates that they started out to achieve, that only 1 out of every 100 people that chooses the transfer to 4-year degree program actually completes the program. So, what can they do to create more successes? There's some strategies right there. Hard to read on a screen this size. I'll describe what they say, though. Near completion refund of tuition. Those who've completed more than 3/4 of whatever it is their certificate is about can suddenly start getting tuition refunds on their earlier classes. That means they get hundreds of dollars to finish that second year or the second half of the second year of their studies, which means they're perhaps more likely to complete their certificate, which means they have more earning power as well as greater social mobility. Now, I read that at Virginia community colleges, they were able to create, I believe it's half or a third larger course completions, that is the individual class completions, if they paid people to study. This is different than that, but that success suggests that refunding all of the tuition that people paid during their first year is going to be effective at giving them a reason to complete the second year of their studies, or even just the second half of the second year. Noting that only 8 out of every 100 people actually complete the certificates, if that were doubled to 16 people, the actual amount of financial cost would be minimal, while dramatically enhancing completion. Social networking, computer automated word sifting finds completionists. Well, you can tell who they are, where they live, what they like, and the kind of language that they use to describe their personal preferences. So you've got the tigers and the waffle makers, and you can tell which ones are the tigers and which ones are the waffle makers from the words that they use to describe their lives at social networking sites. Then you send them advertising that suggests they get free tuition. You're advertising towards completionists, people who will create greater value to their own lives visiting a community college, who might not otherwise realize that they could do that. Advertising to Myers-Briggs types J. On the Myers-Briggs, people describe how they like living, and people who have the J category tend to prefer being spontaneously well-organized. I'm a P. Yet, when you think about it, advertising to those with J values is likely to find those people who are going to stick to some sort of program longer than people who do describe their own preference as preferring spontaneity. That will increase the number of people who are studious as well as dedicated. And even among a group of persons, it's possible that those values may be shared with their peers, which might lift everyone slightly towards completing their certificate or degree. Teach what matters first. What I mean is that if 92 out of every 100 people participated in a certificate program, then their own lives lead them to other activities, whether those are personal or employment activities. If all of the courses teach the technical value material first, then the people actually know more and can do more at their new employer or the way they live. So front load the things that employers most value, as well as front load the things that are cause the greatest capability. Psychobiology of completion. I haven't yet thought of a polite way to describe this one, but it goes like this. I've only known a few people who went to a community college, and amongst those, there were 2 that went to a 4-year college. Now, both of those people had anorexia as part of their life behaviors. And I've read that that's associated with a very strong desire to control one's personal behaviors and surroundings. It's possible that the psychobiology of things like anorexia can be directly traced to those people who are very, very likely to have the iron will to complete a certificate or degree. Thus, a community college that reaches out to underserved communities whose members are anorectic is likely to have a very high degree of degree completion among those people as a result of the psychobiology of completion.